In the summer of 2009, Disney and Marvel sat down to finalize a deal that would create a powerhouse in the world of entertainment. Marvel was looking to land a deal that would allow them to spread their horizons. They went through a long process with Disney that would give Disney access to a catalog of over 5,000 characters. The intellectual property rights that Disney would obtain from Marvel would boost both companies and further propel Disney to the forefront of entertainment. The deal would give Marvel financial power, especially when making films, while giving Disney a new group of characters to capitalize on. The buyout of Marvel was a $4 billion deal and proved that Disney's CEO Bob Iger was a leader in media deal making. During the 4-month-long negotiation process, Disney's position was that they wanted Marvel's intellectual property. Disney did not see the value of Marvel's comics and felt Marvel was under financial pressure to sell for the right price. To Disney, Marvel represented a meaningful growth opportunity as its own brand and would add to Disney's already growing holdings. Marvel's position was that they needed financial backing for the plans of their cinematic universe. They wanted to be completely independent and not micromanaged by Disney, as Disney's reputation had been. Marvel wanted a partner that would help them grow and keep their company profitable. Disney's underlying interest in the negotiation was the ability to expand their portfolio of characters while providing growth to the company. Marvel's superhero lineup provided a much different cast of characters than Disney owned. This would allow Disney to expand their parks as more and more characters become available and allow them to reach new audiences. Marvel's underlying interest was mostly financial. They had plans to expand their characters into a cinematic universe, but funding was a major concern. Marvel's CEO Isaac Perlmutter brought the company back from the brink of bankruptcy and needed to secure a deal. Marvel was also concerned that any deal would dilute their characters. They wanted to keep their edge and depth of their characters and expand their stories in the form of a cinematic saga. The negotiations between Marvel and Disney weighed heavily on objective criteria. Disney's first offer proposed that the value was $46 to $48 per share. Marvel's rejection of that offer caused Disney to up their offer to $50 per share. Marvel tried to push their terms to $51 to $52 per share, but Disney would not budge, and finally the two companies would agree on a $50 per share value. Both companies had BATNAs that would still allow for a positive outcome. Disney's BATNA was that they could have purchased the rights to specific characters like Iron Man, the Hulk, and Thor, much like Sony and Fox had done with characters like Spider-Man and the X-Men. This would have still given Disney new intellectual properties to expand and capitalize on. Marvel's BATNA was that they could have gotten different financial backers for their films, but may have given up creative freedom that they were seeking. They could have also sold the rights to individual characters to Disney for a smaller financial gain. Much like any other successful negotiation, Marvel and Disney's agreement was one of mutual benefits. Disney was able to expand their intellectual property rights and holdings, while Marvel was able to secure the financial backing they needed while still keeping their creative control. The deal the two companies made was one that had a lot to fall into place. Disney and Marvel was able to agree to a fair deal that also benefited Marvel shareholders. Marvel shareholders received $30 per share in cash and approximately 0.745 Disney shares for each Marvel share that they owned. This deal made Marvel shareholders excited over the deal the two companies had agreed to. There was also something that went wrong. One of the final rules of an agreement was almost overlooked. After the negotiations concluded on August 29, 2009, the Disney employment agreements were gone over with Marvel's management. To the surprise of the two companies, a key Marvel executive's signature was missing from the legal paperwork. They had to rush to meet the deadline before the New York Stock Exchange opened that Monday so that Marvel shareholders could cast their vote. In the end, an agreement between Marvel and Disney was met. Disney paid $4 billion in the exchange for the ownership of Marvel and their intellectual properties. The deal allowed Marvel CEO Isaac Perlmutter to oversee Marvel's properties, and he would work directly with Disney's global lines of business to build and further integrate Marvel's properties. The agreement was one that will lead to a long-term, meaningful relationship. Both companies have reached an agreement that mutually benefits each party. Marvel is allowed to expand their company through Disney in ways that would not be possible otherwise. Disney's backing of Marvel gives Marvel financial independence, and Disney is allowed to expand their company out to new genres while propelling Disney to the forefront of entertainment in ways that have not been seen before.